I'm Maria, and everybody has their fears, and two of mine are cameras and asking for help. But I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing it for them. And this is what's left of Rivendel Animal Sanctuary. We are Rivendel Animal Sanctuary, which is a non-profit Care for Life home for horses facing premature euthanasia. And we had to leave our home in 2008. Like a lot of people, we struggled. But we were very fortunate and grateful to have some friends that let me bring the animals here. And they had a little trailer for me so that we were able to stay safe and content while we regrouped and found a new place to go. And it's been a very long, hard 5 years, but they've managed to do really well. But this year in particular has been the worst. And everything went wrong, starting with the very first weekend of this year with a over $5,000 emergency vet bill for one of the dogs. Followed the next night by another emergency weekend after hour vet bill for one of the goats. The very next morning I woke up to frozen water lines that destroyed the water supplies of most of this town and had no usable water. Had to purchase water for the next 5 months, finally able to restore the well, but not the compression tank or the booster pump, so there's no water other than the gravity feed in the bottom of the water tank. So I now have to carry water around to all of the animals each day and try to still make sure I get them fed and taken care of so that I can go to work to earn the money to keep feeding them while we try to find some place to go. Then came spring and I encountered a predator situation with the goats. The next 2 months were heartbreaking nights of spending the nights 2-3 hours reinforcing the pens, bringing the fences up 9 feet high, eventually covering the top with chicken wire so nothing could get in.
Maria works with the animals through the evening hours. Then she takes her dogs and goes into the trailer and stays with them until about 4 a.m. Then she sneaks out of the trailer to sleep in her car in front of the goat pens to make sure that nothing gets them during the predatory hours. After morning chores, she heads off to work knowing all the animals made it through another night.
I kept coming home to more attacks, and when I was finally convinced that they were safe and thought that I could go to sleep within a week, I had a final attack, and the predator proved to wear work boots and have opposable thumbs, so now I know there's no possible way I can keep them safe.
Within 2 days, Maria was fortunate once again and very grateful that a friend provided an alternative place to take the goats. They have been there since May. Maria travels there every day to take care of the goats, but this is an extra chore now that requires extra time and extra money. She wouldn't ask anyone else to take care of them. She wouldn't trust anyone else to take care of them.
Meanwhile, because the water supply has broken, the family that rented the house, my friends, had to go stay with their family because they have children and you can't have children and no water. So that rendered the property abandoned and my animals neglected, as I had to work 10 to 12 to 14 hours a day just to try to stay above water and keep everybody healthy, which I haven't done very well at. And so that was what allowed the predator to discover the goats. Now I know we have to go. And an angel heard our cry and answered with a permanent home in a beautiful place in a much kinder climate than here. We know no blizzards, no snow, no hail, no constant wind. And they're waiting for us and we are on our way.
What Maria is faced with now is her daily animal chores in the morning, then in the afternoon packing and sorting and tossing things, and deciding what to sell of all of her stuff to raise money to transport all of their facilities. She must hire companies to disassemble all of the animal enclosures, haul them 200 miles, and then reassemble them. Meanwhile, she will have to board the animals while that is taking place, and then bring the animals to their new home. And it's taking her a very long time because of financial limitations. She does all right keeping the animals fed with her 2 day jobs, but the move is an expense that is beyond her reach.
We're going and we have a home and we're thrilled, about what I can't do for them, and you probably could, is give them their home, their forever home. Barns to sleep in, cozy, safe, warm barns for the nighttime, turnouts for the daytime to play in, safe indoor, outdoor areas for the dogs with yards to run around in the daytime, a little chicken coop with a yard for the chickens to be out and about, and an enclosed, nice, climate-controlled area for the tortoise so she doesn't have to live in a crate. And proper storage for the feed and the equipment and the tack and the tools so that the wind and the rodents don't get more of it than the horses do. And if we had barns for the horses and goats and storage for the feed and the equipment and the tools and ample hiding places for cats, they wouldn't have to live in a cage because they'd be able to get away when there was a predator afoot. They would be safe, and they would all be safe, and that's what you can do for them, and you can give them their happily ever after. I've got mine, but I just want to give them theirs. 5 years living on this hillside with no flat ground has caused everybody's left feet to start twisting upward and twisting out, which is really bad for their tendons and the bones of their feet. But because they always have to stand on the side of a slope, their feet have no chance of growing out straight. And that's what we're going to have in our new home, is flat ground. And it'll take a couple of years. And for the ones that choose to stick around for that couple of years, their feet will eventually twist back normal with proper shoeing and care. But I can't do that for them here. The other difficulty that we've been faced with, along with just daily survival and trying to move and find a way to get home, is that the property owner has decided to put this place on the market. And so now I'm running out of time, because eventually somebody's going to buy this place and we will have to leave if we haven't been able to go already. And still I can't seem to make the money that I need to make in order to get them home. And I'm very concerned about what the future holds for us if somebody buys this place and doesn't want these animals here. And I just want to get them where they should be. Alright, so on top of the whole just getting through each day and the daily chores involved and still having time to sort everything out and sell it and pack it and get everybody ready to move to their new home and raise the money to get their facilities there and get them there, I also need to sell enough things to raise enough money to keep everybody fed for a number of months, because I will have to find a job once I move. There's a home for me, a place for me, but I need to make an income so that I can keep them fed. And so I'm still going to have to sell enough things also to raise the money for a few months at least worth of hay and dog food and cat food and all of those sorts of things, until I can do it on my own, which I can. And I especially look forward to the day when I can be spending my mornings feeding them, and the water chore is just a few minutes of water chore with a regular hose, and then cleaning up and having a cup of coffee and running off to work for a part-time job will easily keep this crew fed. And then spending my evenings giving them the proper care they deserve, grooming and exercise and attention, and the horseshoer coming regularly, and the primping and the things that they love. And still then at the end of a long day, cold and wet and sticky, I can come in the house, not a trailer, and I can take a shower, and I can put on a pair of slippers and have a cup of tea, and go to bed and get up the next morning refreshed and be able to do it all over again and look forward to doing it all over again, because that's what I do. This isn't what I do. This is time and energy thrown in the wind is what this is. And, you know, the end of my mission statement says that they come to Rivendel to mend broken bodies and heal shattered spirits, and how to learn how to love and to trust and to have their physical and emotional and medical and nutritional needs met, and above all, to live in peace. And we have none of that anymore, but we will. And it's just there waiting for us, just up the road.